Okay, good afternoon. I think we're ready to get started. Health Sciences and Nursing Databases available at Miami-Dade College Libraries. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show you a slideshow, and then we will actually go into some of the databases. First, let me enter in the chat area. There we go. I wanted to share with you in the chat area this website, libraryguides.mdc.edu/az.php. And that will take you to all of the library's databases. We have 117 at the present, and that number is always increasing. So there is a lot for you to see there. But again, we're not going to be visiting all of those, but that's the direct web link to our library databases so you can explore further. All right, I'm going to stop my video so we'll be able to focus on the slideshow, but again, feel free to ask questions as we go along. Okay, can everybody see that fine?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so again, you see the link here to get to our A to Z databases. And today we're going to go over streaming videos. We're going to look at test preparation databases. We're going to look at some consumer health databases. And then, of course, academic resources. So we'll go through each of these. And again, I'm just going to briefly highlight a couple of databases that you can explore further. So let's go ahead and talk about streaming video databases in the health sciences and nursing subject area. One of my favorite is Bates Visual Guide to Physical Examination. So if you need to study anatomy a little bit, or if you are actually in like our physician assistant or nursing program, and you're going to be performing a physical examination on a patient, this is an excellent database. So I'm going to go to view all videos just to give you a feel. And you'll see on the left that you could select a particular system that you're studying. So if you're learning about the cardiovascular system, about the abdomen, about the skin, you can just click on a specific area. And they have an anatomy review. Then they go into the actual examination. And they even have show you how you would record your findings from the examination. This database also has videos on communication and interpersonal skills, because we know how critical that is in the health sciences and nursing to be able to communicate with the patients. And sometimes you have to convey, difficult messages about health and illness. And so there are some tips here about how to show empathy, how to reassure the patient, understanding language, nonverbal communication. So these are really amazing videos for you to prepare going out into clinical practice and being able to work with patients, communicate, and perform physical assessments. Okay, another streaming video database I want to mention. You see I have a few here. We may not go into all of these due to time, but the Nursing and Mental Health in Video database has over 240 different videos on common mental health disorders. And what is great about this database is it actually shows patients with these conditions, which is so important because in the mental health world, you need to be able to read body language and recognize signs and symptoms of these disorders. So you'll see there's bipolar, they have depression, they have dementia, anxiety, many different videos. Let's see if I can just show a short clip of it.
With people, your friends, your family? Do you have close friends?
I mean, I'm popular. I have a lot of friends, but no, I guess I don't have close friends.
So yeah, I think you'll see the value in these videos showing, the actual patients suffering with these conditions, and you can be able to recognize signs, symptoms, body language that is conveyed. So that's our nursing and mental health in video database. Again, there's over 240 videos in there. Canopy is great for, I've personally used Canopy for looking at exercise videos. So that's become so popular now to be able to exercise, in the comfort of your own home. You don't necessarily have to go to the gym. So you can go here and type in like exercise or cooking, and it has all sorts of different videos. Sorry, let me get through this screen. So you can see like Tai Chi and yoga and meditation. They have all sorts of different, and exercise is just one example. They have a lot of stuff on diet, nutrition, cooking, lots of great stuff there for consumer health. Okay. Are you guys seeing a pop-up box that on your screen, or is it just on my side?
You mean like the gray strip?
No, I'm seeing like a little strange orange pop-up box on my side.
Yes, we can see it, Carla.
Yes. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. So let me stop sharing for 1 minute. Okay, thank you. Not sure why that was showing up. I was hoping it was just on my end. So this is a good point to stop anyways and ask, does anybody have questions about our streaming video databases for the health sciences and nursing? Any questions or comments? Has anybody used them and found one in particular of interest? Yes, Arian.
Hi, thanks for showing us these databases. I'm looking at the one that you just showed, the one on teenagers with depression. I didn't know it existed, so it's something that I'll explore after this session, but it's super interesting. And
Yeah.
if I have any nursing students come into the lab, I know where to point them, so.
Great. Okay, yeah, it is a fairly new database that was added through our statewide consortium. So we feel really thankful to have that one. That was an area that we were kind of lacking in information. So yeah, I'm glad I exposed you to that resource. Okay, so let me go back and share again, and let's hope that we don't have that box there, and we'll move into another area. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about our test preparation databases because almost all students in our health sciences and nursing programs are required to take a certification exam. And so we do have a lot of ebooks that will be valuable for that through our EBSCO ebook collection. And again, I'm not going to go into all of these, but just to mention that we do have an extensive ebook collection, which does include some study material. We have Engine. This is a relatively new database as well, and it will help a lot with reading comprehension, English language learning. So if you find that you're struggling on the certification exams because English is not your native language, then Engine will help get you up to speed with the reading comprehension skills that are necessary to be successful on your certification exams. But the one that I really wanted to mention today that I am just like a huge fan of is our Testing and Education Reference Center. So let me go there. Okay, so this, as you can see, it's free test prep software to help you improve your score. And if you scroll down, this database is also great for finding scholarships, looking at universities if you want to go on to get a bachelor's or a master's, or if you're just still, exploring career options, a change of career, or just not sure if you're in the right career path. This is a great database for that as well. But I'm going to show you today the Prepping for Vocational Test. And notice you can choose an area. So today I'm talking about our medical and nursing programs. And if you go down, you can see all of the different tests that this database can help you study for. So dental assistant exam, we have NCLEX for the practical nurse, for the registered nurse, medical assisting, we have TEAS test prep, which is used for admissions, pharmacy tech, vet tech, and there's even more than that. So what you do is you go ahead. The only thing about this database, some people don't like this little initial step, is that you do have to sign up for a free, it's free because you're getting access through the college, but you need to sign up for a personal account. And the reason is because it records your progress because there are practice tests and exams. So if you only have time to work on it for 20 minutes and you want to close out and come back, that's why they're asking for you to set up a personal account so that it can maintain your score, track your score, suggest areas for improvement. So once you add whichever subject area you want to study to your resources, you will find it up here in the resources in your My Resources area. And then you can just go right into that course. And you can see it has diagnostic tests, practice tests. Some areas have flashcards that you can use. And so these practice tests are great because it's like the actual exam, that you will see and you go through and you answer the questions. It saves your results and it provides you feedback if you get the answers wrong. It guides you to, what would be the correct answer. And so you would just continue to go through the full practice test and then gather that feedback. And notice that there's multiple practice tests, so you can continue to improve as you go through this. So let me stop there for a second and just see if anybody has questions or comments about our testing preparation databases. And I see Ivan has his hand raised. Yes.
Yeah, hi Carla. Any reading comprehension modules on that on that database?
I would really recommend the Engine database for reading comprehension. The Testing and Education Reference Center does have some material for writing. So that is available. They do have some reading comprehension, but for that, I really would probably recommend the Engine for
Okay.
reading comprehension.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank
But
you.
definitely worth looking at because there is so much available through the Testing and Education database. All right. And let's see, is this just to enrolled students or is it also available to alumni? Yeah, unfortunately, you have to be currently affiliated with the college to be able to have access to these databases. So students, staff, faculty, it is freely available. I always encourage the alumni to look at our great public library system because they do subscribe to some of the same databases or something similar that they would be able to use. All right, any other questions or comments right now? Okay, all right, let me go back and share again, and we'll talk a little bit about some consumer health resources. Okay, so consumer health resources, and these are great just for personal use, or if you are in a health sciences or nursing program and you're working with patient education, these are great resources for creating your own patient education materials or just referring the patients to. So we have access to consumer reports. Maybe some of you have used that when you're shopping for something, shopping for cars or refrigerators or whatever it might be. So we do have access to consumer reports, which is great for identifying medical devices that you may want to buy if you want to buy your own blood pressure kit to have at home. If you're looking at CPAP machines for sleep apnea, it does glucose measures. It has all sorts of reviews on medical devices, even canes, wheelchairs, walkers, etc. So that's a wonderful resource for that. I also really like the health and wellness database through Gale. Let's look at this one for just a minute. And this one, if you scroll toward the bottom, and I'm sorry, I keep seeing this box popping up and I don't know why it has to be there, but yeah, I'm not sure why that box appears, but that's okay. We will just go on with it there. So pardon that little orange box. But the health and wellness database is great for giving you information about different diseases and conditions, drugs, medications, and diagnostics and tests. I find this area particularly helpful. Diagnostics and tests, if you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, we're gonna, give you an EKG or an MRI. And if you've never had that before, it can be a little bit scary, like, how do I prepare for this test? And, am I going to be in pain? Is it going to be uncomfortable? So this database and this area about the diagnostics and test is very helpful. So Let's say you're going to have a stress test done. You can go here and it will give you all the information about what is a stress test, how it works, how to prepare. It tells you, you know, what kind of results you will get, why is a stress test given. I'm sorry, I have a couple people coming into the meeting. There we go. So you get a lot of great information to help you, you know, feel a little bit calmer and prepare for this test that you will be undergoing. So that's our health and wellness database through Gale. That's the vendor Gale. I also want to mention Flipster. I think Flipster's just great for personal use and can save you money. If you're the type who's still, you know, paying for subscriptions to print magazines, to popular print magazines, you may be able to stop paying for that because Miami-Dade College Libraries has access to a lot of popular magazines through the Flipster database. And today I'm just primarily focusing on these fitness, health, and wellness magazines. But you'll see we have a lot of the popular ones that you see all the time at the grocery store, you know, prevention, men's health, women's health, lots of different stuff here. There's a yoga magazine, good housekeeping. And what I love about this is it's just so beautiful. This is like a beautiful database. It's full color, just as if you had the physical magazine in your hands. And we have issues going way back, I mean, many, many years back. So you can just choose a, you know, a current issue or go back and see previous issues. So you'll see how it is full color and you can just, you know, flip through the pages. Or you can see these are active hyperlinks. So here in the contents, I don't have to flip manually if I'm like, oh, I really just want to read this particular article about eating for strong bones. Then I can just go ahead and skip right to that and breeze through it. So, and you have a lot of tools over here where you can print, you can, you know, see all of the issues, you can see the table of contents, you can search within this particular issue. I could search just for recipes or exercise, anything like that that I'm focusing on. And so that is our Flipster Popular Magazines database. Okay, so this is a good pausing point and ask if anybody has any questions or comments about our consumer health databases. Or if anybody's used one that I did not mention, you know, feel free to share. Thank you, Ariane. Okay, great. So I'm glad I'm exposing everyone to these databases. Again, we have 117 different ones. So, you know, it's really not feasible to have used all of them, but there really is something there for everybody in these databases. So I encourage you to play around with them. All right, so let me move on to another area and kind of our final area that I want to talk about with you today. So I'm going to go back and share my screen again. Okay, so I want to look at, keep trying to get rid of that little box that keeps popping up, but I guess we'll have to just deal with that one. So of course, we've been talking about maybe some of our more fun, more consumer-friendly databases in the health sciences and nursing area. But I would be remiss if I did not mention all of the different academic resources that we have. And I've just put a couple here, but we do have access to a lot of other great databases for retrieving full text, peer-reviewed, scholarly journal articles. CINAHL happens to be my favorite, so that's probably why I'm highlighting it here. But you know, we have Medline, we have Wiley, Sage, we have just a lot of different databases to retrieve the full text of scholarly journals. So let me just show you CINAHL. And again, we really honestly could have a full workshop just on this particular database because there are so many features, but I'll just show you kind of a quick search for today. So you have your keyword boxes up here at the top where you can enter in your keywords. So let's say I'm looking at pressure ulcers. And notice this is one thing I really like about the different EBSCO databases is it helps you with your keywords. So if you're struggling to find something, there might be a better keyword to try or an alternative. So notice this is suggesting, like I could say pressure ulcers, bed sores, pressure sores, or pressure injury. So that would really expand the possible articles that I would locate. And then you could add in additional terms. So lots of times to control pressure ulcers, hospitals and nursing homes, different facilities like that, will look at the mattresses that are being used. And you'll see again, as I start to type in mattress, it is suggesting other terms, pressure relieving mattresses, alternating pressure mattresses. So I can choose that. And then as you scroll down, because you could just do the search right there, but there are a lot of different options and ways that you can focus and limit your results. If you choose full text, it will only retrieve articles that we have full text access to. And then over on the right, you can narrow it down by publication date, which is a common request from faculty to retrieve articles, usually within the last 5 years. So you could enter your range here. So I'll just do 2020. That'll be fine. And then if you leave it open, it will search through the current date. So you really just need to put a start year of how far back you want to search. And notice you can narrow it down to peer-reviewed to really get those scholarly articles and not get like editorials or personal opinion pieces. You could narrow it down to English language, research articles. Sometimes this can get a little bit overwhelming because you do have so many options and features available. So, you know, don't try to check everything off. Just kind of focus on, I want the full text. I want to have it the last 5 years. My professor said it has to be peer reviewed. But there are, you know, a lot more features that you could do. Sometimes in the nursing program, they want to ensure that one of the authors is a nurse so that the article's being written from that perspective and not from the perspective of a respiratory care therapist or from the doctor's viewpoint. So you can narrow it down to where any author is a nurse. So let me just do this search at this point to give you an idea. And so this found 78 different articles So if I want to, I could continue to narrow it down. I have the refine the results over here on the left. Or you can just scroll through the results until you find an article that is relevant to you. And you click on the article title. And you have all of your citation information. You have the abstract that I always recommend just kind of read the abstract first. It's a good time-saving technique to ensure that this article is relevant to your research before actually going into the full text and reading the entire article. But you do have the PDF of the article available on the left-hand side of the screen. So you have the full text of the article. And then you have a lot of tools over here on the right-hand side for saving your research, which I love that. I mean, you can, save it to the cloud, you can save it to a Google Drive. Of course, you can print it, you can email it. So this is great if you're collaborating, working on a group project. Or just sometimes I email it to myself because, if you're doing a lot of research and you want to keep everything in one place, I oftentimes will just email all of the articles to myself, create a folder, or I'll put it in OneDrive somewhere that is accessible that I can come back to and retrieve my research. And notice it also has a citation tool. Most of our journal databases, actually most of all of our databases have a citation tool. So if you do use this article in your papers, you may want to use this option. In our health sciences and nursing programs, we primarily use the APA 7th edition citation style. So make sure you're going to APA 7th edition. You have the citation for this article that you would be able to copy and paste onto onto your references page. Now, my little word of caution is these are just computer generated citations. They do make mistakes. There will be errors. Ultimately, you're going to be responsible for reviewing that, editing the citation. But I do like this feature because you will get all of the elements, the author, publication date, the article title, the journal, volume, DOI. You have all of the elements that you need for your references page, but do keep in mind you may need to fix that up a little bit. And we do have an excellent writing coach and writing tutors who, once you get a solid rough draft together, I really encourage you to make an appointment with them, and they can also address any citation problems that you might be having. But it is a nice feature of the library databases to have that tool. Okay, so the other one I want to mention in this area is PubMed. Miami-Dade College libraries are what is called a link out partner with PubMed because PubMed is a free service, not affiliated with the college. It is a service of the U.S. National Library of Medicine. And it is actually the largest, I mean, millions of citations in biomedical literature. As you can see, it actually says 36 million citations. So this is your most comprehensive source for biomedical literature. And, you can go to Google, type PubMed, and search that way. But I really want to encourage you to access it through the Miami-Dade College Libraries databases. because that way it will recognize you as affiliated with the college, because not everything in PubMed is full text. You many times will just get an abstract. So to get the full text, you need to be affiliated with an institution. And if you access it through Miami-Dade College Library's database list, then it automatically is going to recognize that you are affiliated with Miami-Dade College. And if we have the full text, then you'll be able to get the full text that way. So searching PubMed is very similar to CINAHL. They don't give you as many search boxes. So you just kind of type everything here in the main box. So I'm going to put pressure ulcer, mattresses, and do the search. And then once you do the search, there are a lot of options on the left-hand side where you can focus this and narrow it down just like we were doing in CINAHL. And you can see they have articles about going back to 1948. So we probably want to get something a lot more current than that. So I can use this little scroll bar. Okay. And then there are other ways to limit as well. So then you could just start going through the articles until you find one that is relevant to your research. You'll see like the second one says that it is a free PubMed article. So in that case, you would not have to be logged in to Miami-Dade College Libraries. That particular article is freely available. So there are quite a few that show as freely available, but you'll notice not all of them are available in that way. So if I just click on the first one as an example, you have your abstract here, but the full text is not available in PubMed. But notice on the right under the full text links, you'll see the little Miami-Dade College logo. So this is telling you that even though PubMed does not provide the full text, Miami-Dade College does have the full text. And when I click on that, it will link out to one of our databases and give you the full text of that article. So that's really awesome that we are a link out partner with PubMed, and that just expands the availability of full text research articles that are available to you. Okay, so let me close out of that. And this is probably a good point for me to pause and see if anybody has questions or comments. Right now, we're talking primarily about our academic resources, research databases for health sciences and nursing. Does anybody have any comments or questions or experiences they'd like to share?
Not at the moment, but this is really interesting.
Great, thank you, Ariane. I appreciate that. And so I believe that is what I wanted to share with you today. Again, I remind you that this is by no means, all of the databases that we have. Let me put my video back on so you guys can enjoy the beach view that I wish I was actually at. So again, this is by no means all of the databases that we have, but it was just to highlight, especially some of my favorite in the health sciences and nursing area. And I provided the link again to all of our library databases so you can explore more. I'm also going to put my email in the chat, cclark3@mdc.edu. So if you have any questions after our webinar today, you can feel free to contact me. I am the librarian at the medical campus, have been here almost 20 years, so I have a lot of experience with the health sciences and nursing areas. Any other comments or questions for today? We're good? Okay, great. Well, I appreciate everybody attending. I wish you a good afternoon.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you,
Okay.
Carla. Likewise.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.